providing or promulgating, you should be comfortable teaching your child this stuff. If not, no one should be doing it. So here we go, Noble. Sit back and relax. This is 2016. Karen A. Yarbrough, the Recorder of Deeds, Register of Torrens, Titles, Cook County, Illinois. Email, July 8th, 2016. Sheikh Lanel Love L, Sheikhis Mort D Love L, and the Moorish Science Temple of America. Listen clearly. When I tell people, this is public information. No one can be mad. This stuff is public information. I give you public information to keep you caught from not letting a person just talk that rhetoric because they older than you. I don't respect no old fool or no young fool. You're not going to come to me with that garbage. This ain't no goddamn courtism. We ain't here to overthrow no government or none of that stuff. When I say I can use anybody's information to illuminate them, it's us too. If you have divine creed and bylaws, we're not here to act like a group of people got something special and try to throw it on people to get notes. So I'm gonna give it to y'all again when I tell y'all public information. Doc numbers, the Free Information Act. I'm telling you, let's deal with it. My pendulum swing the same way. I'm gonna show y'all even the Consular Stately, the Consular book. When the brothers, you can't change the prophet's teachings. That's why the prophet teachings is fire. But that's why I say the prophet teaches ain't right. It's the people that ain't right. That's why I say if the prophet's not right, the temple is not right. And then you see all these brothers talk all that stuff about the government taxes, and all them fools went to jail trying to file fake taxes. Point blank. So let's deal with it. Via email, July 8th, 2016. This is the Karen A. Yarbrough, Recorder of Deeds, Register of Torrens, Titles of Cook County, Illinois. I'm showing you this with your face. This is the free information. Sheikh Lionel Love L, Sheikh is Mota D Love L, Moorish Science Temple of America. Sheikh and Sheikh is Love L. In the past few days, the Cook County Recorder of Deeds, which is the CCRD, that's the acronym. See, this stuff should be going viral, but the goofy stuff do. Has received several forms of email corresponding from you regarding concerns that you have involving the organizational documents and other documents relating to the Moorish Science Temple of America, acronym MSTA. I am writing to address these concerns and clarify the role that the CCRD has as the custodian. Custodian, I hope you know what a custodian is. That's number one. Of records, of public records, public records, public records, public records, public records. Many of your concerns were raised in the form of numbered questions. The CCRD's response to these questions are as follows. In her capacity as the Register of Torrens, Titles, what is the full scope of the fiduciary duty owed to document 1010-5905? And when I ask Moorish this, they say a whole bunch of stuff that they heard somebody saying. I say an affidavit to do what though? Because I don't do barbershop talk. I don't care about all that catchphrase stuff. That has no concerns to me. Everybody talk to the 1010, the 1010-5905 is the trust fund at the end of the rainbow. Let me tell you, one, if you ain't part of the Moorish Science Temple and you got something with the 1099, that's fraud. Point blank. Play the game if you want to. Okay? And the resulting entity, the Moorish Science Temple of America, as a body politic, named the said document. The response, after reading your question, I assume that you are asking what the recorder's duties and responsibilities are in relation to this and other documents. In this regard, the recorder has specific duties and responsibilities. First, the recorder is responsible for recording documents that are entitled to be recorded. Listen clearly. Second, the recorder has the responsibility of being the custodian of all recorded documents. So if somebody the custodian of recorded documents, who recorded it? Come on now, think with your head. Think. Document 1010-5905 is an affidavit of organization. So when a person talk about an affidavit, I say affidavit to do what? I'm not giving no slander. A person just can't say it's for filing an affidavit. An affidavit to do what? An affidavit to do what? To do what? To do what? Specifically. You see, this is how you don't get caught up in garbage. It's an affidavit of organization under the Religious Corporation Act, 805 ILCS 110 ET.SEQ. Under the Religious Corporation Act, there are specific requirements that need to be met in order for a document to be recorded pursuant to that act. See 805 ILCS 110-36. And at that time that this document was presented to the CCRD, it met all of those requirements and it was recorded. Come on, man. All more, this should be going viral for every more that be out here getting caught up with goofy stuff. We ain't even touched the surface yet. As custodian for this document and other recorded documents, unless specifically restricted by law, the documents are made available for purchase by public. See Law 55 ILCS 5-4-12002. I hope y'all still with me. In other words, if a customer, you are a customer, if a customer requests to purchase a certified or non-certified copy of this document from the CCRD will provide such a copy to the customer if they pay the required fee or the request fee. Research it. Call the CCRD right now. Ask them for the document I just read. I'm trying to tell you, man, I'll go all over with it. This stuff is free information. See, they'll go to jail with their own stuff. I've been giving y'all cases, all these goofy criminals going to jail, and y'all still gonna rock with that shit? Come on, man. That Moorish Science, that Zodiac law stuff. Listen, man, I love everyone. No disrespect to no one. But why do you think some Zodiac law, something that a man wrote, some CMA, and it's in the Library of Congress, that's all, that you can take that and use that? Do you really think that? If you really think with your brain, with any common sense, why would you think that? Do you think he can use that shit to get himself out of shit? If he done kill people and rob with guns and trafficking and doing all this shit, do you think he gonna be able to use that shit to say, well, I'm a Moor and I'm on some Zodiac law and you still going to jail? More? Can't get mad at the truth. I give y'all facts, man, above facts. This is no slander. This is truth. The truth will make you free. Come on. CCRD has no other duties and responsibilities relating to this particular document. In other words, the CCRD is simply a custodian of this record and makes this available to the public for a fee. You listening, right? What are the procedures for filing document under the 805 ILCS Religious Corporation Act related to property, mortgage, notes, etc.? Response. Real estate related documents such as property deeds, mortgages, or notes are not recorded under the Religious Corporation Acts. For the recording requirements for real estate related documents, please see the state recording statute at 55 ILCS 5ET.SEQ. I hope y'all rocking with me, man. You got to. This is no slander. What are the procedures for including the Moorish Science Temple of America to the list of body politics on file with the Cook County Recorder of Deeds? Response. Listen clearly. The CCRD does not maintain a list of no damn body politics. That's me saying damn, but body politics. With this said, as mentioned above, the CCRD accepts documents relating to the organization, the incorporation of religious entities under the Religious Corporation Act. I hope y'all listening clearly, man. The document that you are concerned with, document 1010-5905, has already been recorded by the CCRD. I hope y'all hearing me. It's already been recorded, so when any goofy Moor call themselves some sheik, they done. That AA22, that ain't shit. That AA2214 just references Article 22, Section 1 U.S. Code dealing with the consular courts which been closed. Consular courts ain't shit. I read the consular courts to y'all already. The consular, I give this shit. I don't need. Listen, if a U.S. citizen kill a Moor, or if a Moor kill a U.S. citizen, that Moor want to be judged in the same parameters as that U.S. citizen. It ain't no more discussion. That's a wrap. That's supreme wisdom. And then that AA22, that's, man, Moors don't even know the whole parameter of that. They don't even know the whole dynamics of that. I'm telling you, I give you facts. I give you facts. Moors do not know the true dynamics of the AA22141. When you started that shit started drying up in smoke. You could you can look that up. That ain't nothing but a Library of Congress number. I'm telling you, that ain't gonna get you out of jail. I just did that in my DAP class and showed them the case where them prisoners tried to do that. They was criminals. What happened, Maso? What happened? Jail, 20-some years. That shit don't mean nothing. It's smoke and mirrors. No disrespect to CMA. That shit ain't finna get you out of jail. I don't know why Moors think that. They can quote that all day. They can quote that, and no disrespect to what I understand what Noble's saying, Royal L Bay 19, but Moors don't have a clear understanding. They don't. They don't have a clear understanding. That don't mean nothing. I'm sorry. I got all that stuff. And when you look that stuff up, man, Moors be lying. And I'm not saying Noble lying. I'm just saying Moors be lying. For real. I'm like, dude, yeah, they have no idea. I can prove. I can show you all that Zodiac law stuff. That ain't finna get nobody out of jail. That ain't nothing magical. That ain't finna unlock nothing. No disrespect to nobody. Hell. Is it true that in accordance to provisions made possible for body politics under home rule, that documentation and laws of the Moorish Science Temple of America as a body politic are applicable to the management of said trust? Watch this. Watch this. CCRD is unaware of what specific documentation and laws are applicable to the management of any trust maintained by or for the benefit of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I would like to note that the Religious Corporation Act states that trustees of religious organizations shall have the care, custody, and control of the real and property of the organization. So if the Moorish Science Temple, they got something, they ain't got nothing. Nothing. And all them Timothy Chicago, them brothers don't even know each other. They act like Crips and Bloods. I'm giving you precedent-in-law. C805 ILCS 110-43. The CCRD is not a trustee of any trust or trust assets being held by or for the benefit of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now, if any more call themselves some sheep or some whatever the hell they want to call you, they lying. And ain't no truth in them. You should be done. You should be done right now. You should be done. Has the office done any competent research to determine who are the current executive rulers of the ADAPT chamber of the Moorish Science Temple of America, sheiks with power and duties similar to that of trustees? You hear this? Watch this, what you see. CMA only referenced that number because of all public ministers clause in Article 3 of Constitution, but it only applies to diplomats, which they are not and never were. Okay, so they don't even know what a diplomat is. Ain't no such, so see what? Let me show you the clear, how can I say it? In a court of law, there's no excuse of law in a court of law. No disrespect to what you're saying, no. No disrespect to what you're saying, but that shit, what they be saying is goofy shit. Cause if one, you done by default of not knowing the law, contempt of court. Cause you're not a diplomat. These goofies out here with a tribal plate. What diplomat ride with a tribal plate? What diplomat ride with a tribal plate? You done. You playing fairy tale. Like I said, you done off the top. That's why I'm saying, man, I done been in all chambers. I be in prisons. I got prisoners out of jail for true stuff. But when they come with that fairy tale shit, that it's nothing. It's contempt of court. That game coming. They know. The first thing they're gonna ask you, do you know what you've been arrested for? You're gonna break it down. Yep. Done. Every time you come to court, do such and such, do you know what you've been arrested for? You're gonna break it down. Yep. I'm gonna look at you and be like, well, I see you in 20 years, buddy. You know. It's over. They gonna laugh. You already know what you're there for. Come on, man. I'm telling you, it's fugazi. I done been there. I'm 45 years old. I done been all over the prisons. I done been there. That's why I said these kids playing the game. You can't go to prison, man. I deal with 5%. I done deal with prison people doing 20 years. My homeboy Hodges Bay in Vegas, he did, 15 years in the joint. He said, them niggas can't come how you come into prison, sheep. They know better than that. All that stuff is play. I showed Moorish this. I just showed my nobles a case. The brother called himself Supreme L. This brother did all this shit, all this stuff, and then he spilled all that stuff this noble saying, no disrespect. Some Sundry Act, some Zodiac laws, all that shit in this case. They like, man, be quiet. All that shit don't mean nothing. No disrespect to nobody. They think it do, but they can play the game if they want to. It don't make me no difference. I don't be here to argue with nobody. I just tell the truth, and the truth will make you free. The people know my voice. Has this office done any competent research to determine who are the current executive rulers of the DAP chamber of the Moorish Science Temple of America, sheiks with power and duties similar to that of trustees? Response. I've been in the belly of the beast 24 years, and yes, you're correct. It's easy to check in, but hard to check out. See? I'm right here. I'm telling you. Supreme wisdom right here. No matter how nobody like it. And I'm not saying that. It's just because. I'll give you something to compare it to. It is my understanding that the current sheiks of the Moorish Science Temple of America are reflected in the recorded documents that are amended, document 1010-5905. Let me to the trustees of the organization that are not reflected in the documents. The CCRD would not be aware of them. You see what I'm saying? Smoothie in my teeth. Apologies for that, man. Apologies for that. Is the office aware that only the founder, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, has the authorization to issue document 1010-5905? As such, has been the case since 8/1/1929. First of all, that when I talk power of attorney, when Moors that just be on the internet, they don't know how the temple is set up. I said a lot of stuff is bonding for life when you see how the temple is set up. Just like before my grandmother passed, certain people, we had power of attorney, and that was for life. So we were able to do things. So when you see how the temple is set up, say if I set it up just because I passed, it don't end. The body still exists, and only people know how it's structured is true sheiks and true people from the temple. That's going to talk like myself and other. That's why I say the true moral, true sheik going to tell the truth. And if they're limited in their wisdom, that's okay. So in response, this is what they're saying now, in response to what they were asking. He was like, although I am unclear what you mean by issuing the document, but part of the recorder's duties, including maintaining recorded documents and providing certified and non-certified copies of the recorded documents for sale to the public. I gave y'all the case. 55 ILCS 5-4-1200002. Thanks for the donation. Yep, it's Cash App $. Gratitude, man. And like I'm saying, we shouldn't have a problem with donating if we Moors that go to temples and been a part of temples forever. And I'm like, you going to church, ain't you? And I'll be like, I know, because ain't nothing happening. Ain't no kids learning. Y'all ain't building nothing. They don't have no literature. Sheik ain't writing no books. He ain't no pillar in the community. Come on, man, this is not church. Is the office aware that the unauthorization, issuance, and collections of funds resulting from said issuance constitutes a breach of registers, fiduciary duty as custodians, criminal fraud, embezzlement, etc.? Listen to this. Response. Your position is legally and factually incorrect. This their response. Your position is legally and factually incorrect. Yeah, I'm on YouTube too, Maso. Please see the relevant statutory authority reference above when these Moors be trying to arbitrate the law. Trying to arbitrate, explain the law. I said, you ain't gonna come. You ain't gonna come to me with that. I hope you do your research before you come. Tricksters only try to fool people that they think stupid. I'm telling you, man. Think about it. It's just like bullies. See, in my neighborhood on West Path, we kick bullies' ass. Real talk. Our block can come with that bully stuff. Yeah, we were from the hood, but come with that bully stuff and see what happened. Your position is legally and factually incorrect. Please see the relevant statutory authority reference above. And in some of your other correspondence, you indicate that the CCRD refused to file certain real estate and non-real estate related documents and index them under the trust 1010-5905. Listen, y'all, to be clear, this should go viral. To be clear, document 1010-5905, a trust document. This document is simply an affidavit of organization under the Religious Corporation Act. What this means is that the document serves as a record that the Moorish Science Temple of America is organized, incorporated as a religious corporation under the Religious Corporation Act. The CCRD is not a trustee of any trust or trust assets maintained by or for the benefit of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I hope y'all listening, right? I hope y'all listening. The responsibility lies with the Moorish Science Temple of America. So how can these Moors be talking about they teaching the prophet to teach? They don't even know none of the teachings. I'm right here. I don't have nothing to hide. That's why I be laughing. That's why I don't hate on the temple. I tell y'all, if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. I left that. I said, I'm gonna create a school for Moors. I have a school. Our school have ID. The nobles that's with me, they claim their nationality. That's something that you proclaim, declaring how due process. Now you with me, you part of a tribe in a temple in a school. We crossing all T's, dotting all I's. We legit. The Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple in school is legit. That's what I'm saying, man. More out here getting people caught up in fairy tale stuff. Grown people. Grown people. It said what this means is that the document serves as a record that the Moorish Science Temple of America is organized, incorporated as a religious corporation under the Religious Corporation Act. The CCRD is not a trustee of any trust or trust assets maintained by or for the benefit of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That responsibility lies with the Moorish Science Temple of America. If you are having difficulty recording certain documents in our office, please refer to the recording requirements referred in the legal authority cited above. Finally, you indicate that you would like the Moorish Science Temple of America to place employees in the CCRD for various purposes. State law clearly indicates that you have no authority to demand that you employ members of your congregation in our office. The recorder has the right to control the internal operations of her office. See the law, 55 ILCS 5-3-5005.2. If you have any further questions regarding this letter, please submit them in writing to me at james.gleaf@cookcounty illinois.gov. Come on, man. Come on, man. Who mad? That's why all them temples can't get along, because they all coming up with their own rhetoric. Thanks for the donation. If you like to give a donation to the teaching, it's Cash App $KG Bay or PayPal.me/. Ibn El-Bay 7. I mean, we should have a problem. And then Moore's be looking at this, and I said, so Moore's not going to go over the state booklet and keep it simple? Because they be trying to hide stuff. It's only one temple. It's only one prophet. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. Stop flashing your cars at Europeans. It caused confusion. Remember, your ideas for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequences. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these orders are disobeyed, justice must then take its peace. If you don't want to obey to these rules, give up your turban, your fez, your car, and go back to the state that I found you. Your ID don't replace nothing. It's for you, it's for the temple only. It's for your membership for the temple. That's why a true Sheik, I show y'all my ID and say it's membership ID for what? The Moorish Science Temple of America. That's it. It don't replace nothing. A true Sheik will tell you that. It don't replace a goddamn thing. That's why our prophet tell you stop flashing your fucking cars at Europeans. It causes confusion. That's simple as shit. This is simple. Come on, man. This is confusion. This is confusion. This is fucking confusion. Ain't no God, man, riding around with no fucking tribal plate, and then you talk about you something national. You ain't got no damn allegiance with no another country. Think about it. You ain't even been out your raggedy ass neighborhood. And then you go to court, you and that motherfucker playing Wizard of Oz. I'm like, you got a tribal plate. That ain't no national plate. If you come from here and you got one, you won't notice. You got diplomatic plates. Everybody's the same with their own number. You got diplomatic plates. Ain't no diplomat comes from, say if my sister a diplomat from here and I'm a diplomat from here, you diplomat from here, when we come through this motherfucker with some goofy ass fucking tribal plates. Y'all know that's stupid. Everybody in the world know that's dumb. And we don't, and Negro, blacks, and color get played for that shit. None of that shit gonna make you nothing. It's the science, it's the wisdom. It's understanding the religious laws, being a part of the tribe, doing things the right way, coming together. Can't nobody sell you shit. And then these people don't be knowing nothing. These is truth, man. I don't know. People be running on ID, grown people. And I'm like, okay, what the ID? What you doing now? You disappear? Close your eyes. We'll open them. What you getting ready to do? People making fake videos. Let me talk about this work. Let me see if that document get you out the country. Try to get out of the country with it. Don't y'all know Hassan Bey, Mos Def, had a problem getting back into the States when he had and he had a world passport. He had a world passport. Then people try to play word games with you. They say it ain't a passport, it's a travel document. Okay, so what the fuck? If it's a passport, travel document, so are you gonna be pulling that shit out? Or is it cosmetics? See, what's the difference? Talk to me. So you can't play no word fucking trick with me. If it don't mean shit, why you need it? Use your hippocampus. These more people want all this ID and ain't part of nothing. Where the school, where the teachers, where the sheep, where y'all meet in Greece, where you doing paper. The RICO law ain't just for no rappers. I was just showing my sister, she was like, damn, Sheik, everything I said, yeah. It's criminal organization trying to overthrow the government. That's why our divine freedom bylaw say we ain't here to overthrow no government. I don't know what these goofy niggas talk about. This ain't no militia. This ain't no sovereign citizen group. This ain't no whole bunch of ex-ass military low-ranking niggas that got kicked out because they was in that trying to be in there for 20 years. Like, because they playing Boy Scouts. See? And I ain't talking about nobody specific. I'm talking about it all. All. Male, girl, or female. I know the game. Can't come around me playing no motherfucking G.I. Joe. Think you are, man. With that retarded ass shit. Excuse my candor, man. My pendulum swing both ways. Even the counseling book. When I met these brothers, Chicago, and I had to research them brothers trying to file off fake taxes and shit. I said, y'all can't confuse the wisdom, but the shit y'all doing, man, y'all ain't right. I shake you niggas' hand and go. I have my temple out here, and all the old shit was connected to them in Chicago. They gotta go too. You gotta go. Care if you got no pictures of Noble Drew Ali. That shit ain't nothing but pictures. Put that shit out too. I got my own pictures of Noble Drew Ali. I ain't dealing with no bullshit. You ain't finna be using that Noble Drew Ali shit and doing that criminal activity around me. Fuck you mean? When I was a child, I act like a child. I'm a noble. I'm all the way right. I say what the hell I'm saying on the corner with a bullhorn. Give a damn about that shit. Ain't no criminal messing me. That's why I can stand both, regardless if it fill a room up or if it clears it up. I can stand on truth, and the truth will make you free from no slander. That's why I greet everybody in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, with high honors to the great God Allah, the Father of the God of the universe, and all the holy and divine prophets. I extend my wishes and honor to everyone. That's why I speak highly of the Moorish Science Temple of America, what our prophet done. But I ain't with this nigga shit, excuse my candor. I am not with it. I am not. I don't care. I give credit and honor to what Noble Drew Ali did, but the rest of this shit, I am not with none of these goofy Negroes. I ain't affiliated with none of them. Don't want to be. We'll see where they all at in the next short year. Shit. Excuse my candor, man. A lot of Moors are new to this, and a lot of these young boys coming to this science thinking they can put on the fez and go on Amazon and buy some tarot cards and just read some shit. Daddy, you ain't conjuring up no magic in your mama basement. That's why I be telling us, man, this internet is not real. If we real Moors, we got to come around each other and do real things and be willing to be corrected and put in the right perspective of science. This is no game. This is a great work that we got to do, as a government properly does, while running an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. Then the people on all levels will understand by our works and deeds, and maybe fulfill on this divine and national movement as well. That's why our prophet Noble Drew Ali clearly quoted, and I clearly state, that a beggar nation cannot attain to its highest spirituality. And I'll keep the Europeans here long enough to teach you how to run a government. So let's stop begging for what we should be working hard to retrieve, but retrieve it ourselves, because the prophet is keeping the European here long enough here to teach you how to run a government, right? Y'all love all them catchphrases, and this is what we should learn how to do. So in this science, it expounds on the national movement, on what our mission consists of. And our mission clearly is to uplift fallen humanity. I ain't say file no fake ass shit. I ain't say squat no houses. I ain't say drive without no license. Did I? I ain't say overthrow no government. I ain't say riding around here with no goddamn tags. I ain't say getting no goddamn some fake ass, whatever you want to call the documents, and then confuse the people. I ain't say none of that, did I? Nope. Because all nations have missionaries. So when I ask these people, what's their mission? They get to talking about money just like all them other people do when they suckers, when they told. They just try to throw out money, but I got money. You still a sucker? That money don't unsucker you. Or you ratted on everybody, but I got money. You still a rat. Nobody don't care over that. You did that shit fraudulently. And not only fraudulently to your people, that don't unsucker you. All nations have missions to fulfill, and we will appoint missionaries to make certain that those missions are taken care of. So how can a person say, what's these people's mission? I told you, like I was telling my sister, the only people that get hustled is the ones that got hustle on their face. Them showers just come right to them. Because we got a mission, a missionary, you know, they're going to come for fallen humanity. Everything else comes with that. And if you have a product, it ain't forcing nobody. That's supply and demand. We're supposed to do business. We're supposed to barter. That's what we're supposed to be doing with each other. That's how our dollars circulate. But more still go to all these other platforms and buy books, Amazon, go all these places and won't get product from us. So Moors need to take from this wisdom, understanding and knowledge of this free national government being incorporated under the Heard-Smith revised status of the state of Illinois as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. That's why the Vatican State was incorporated under this particular act as well since the 1929. And in this science that I give, man, is just a little tittle of the Moorish Science Temple of America, just a concept. And I just give it from wisdom and knowledge. And it's to be added on to. It's to be added on to as the righteous do what we're doing. That's why I tell Moors, come one, come all. Moors should have been with us privately on Zoom, but Moors don't want to give up a couple dollars that they'll smoke up every week. That's the sad part. We building. Moors, welcome to our 3rd annual Moorish Ball. It's getting ready to be a Moorish extravaganza. Do you hear me? I talk about we're going to be popping our collars, man, for 3 days. For real. So let's deal with a little bit of this, and I got to get out of here. If you like the teachings, like my noble just said, man, Cash App, $KGBay, PayPal.me/IBNLBay7. My noble keeps saying that. He like, everybody should have no problem with what I'm doing. If not, there's no reason to be here. And I'm okay with that too. I'm not here to be disrespected, and I'm not going to disrespect you. If you don't want to be here and you don't want to abide by to the rules, that's fine. Just please don't waste your time. So I'm giving a little bit of this. And if you want to learn more from me, I'll challenge you to come to class because I'll teach it all. And then you can get this literature from me. That's the thing, when you give donations, you get it to have in your hand. So the definition of state. Let's begin and explain the definition of a state. A state is a people permanently occupying a fixed territory, bound together by common law, habits and customs into one body politic, exercising through the medium of an organized government, independent sovereignty and control over all persons and things within its boundaries, capable of making war and peace and of entering into international relations with other communities of the globe. A political unity, concretely viewed, right? Listen to that. Political unity, concretely viewed. A state is a body politic possessing sovereignty. Any body politic possessing sovereignty is entitled to be called a state. So when I teach elementary linguistics to my children and things, and I say the first thing you got to know is the words got to come out of my mouth. You got to know etymology, etymon, and what's synonyms. So it's entitled to be called a state. And so when I tell Moors, it's a good characteristic to describe the Moorish Science Temple of America, to describe our temple and school, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Why? Because the people described in this state would be described as the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America and the members of the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. You know? Islam. By definition of state, the fixed territory for our state would be Northwest. Gratitude, Noble Royal Bay. Peace and love to you, man, and love to your family, and peace to you in your travels, man. May Allah and may whatever name that you give glory continue to give you light, continue to give peace, and continue to illuminate all your endeavors. I give you peace, light, and illumination. And regardless of what you're going through, Noble, regardless of what it is, you never stop. We never stop in storms. We go through them because that's what strength is. We are stopping the storm, no, but we go through the storm. So I give you honor, I give you glory, I give you praises, man. And I look at you the same way I look at any other God. That's why the power that man has is to be around men and be around women that we see the great God in. So I give you honor and praises in your journey. Peace and love, Noble Islam. But it's a good characteristic to be described, Moors, right? The common law habits would be focused toward our practices in Chapter 32 of the Heard Smith Revised Statutes of the State of Illinois. By definition of state, the character who would have independent sovereignty in our state is what? Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Think about this. Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a true sovereign. Moorish Science Temple of America, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, is a sovereign body. We are not sovereigns, but members of a sovereign body politic and corporate. You're not no sovereign citizen. That's an oxymoron. Think about that. In comparison with the term state, now you got to look at and define the term body politic. So body politic is defined as a social compact a social compact. You got to understand what that means, by which the whole people covenant. When I say a covenant is a contract, a covenant is an agreement to make us family. I taught this a plethora of times with each citizen, and each citizen with the whole people, that all shall be governed by certain laws from the common good. That's why Moore is already in default. If you say you are Moore and we have certain covenant, which is our bylaws and our divine creed, you done by your own rules. Also, a term applied to a municipal, a corporation, a school district, a county or city, state or public association. See, this stuff should go viral. All and more should be done. You should be done dealing with it, because it's shutting it down. This is organization. See, if you like organization or you like confusion, and when looking at the term government, we can see that this term has a connection with the term state, body politic, and body corporate. And we can understand the similarities of these terms. So government derives from the Latin term gubernaculum, or gubernaculum, which is defined as the system of polity in a state, that form of fundamental rules and principles by which a nation or state is governed. See? Polity is the form of government, whether theocracy, federal, anarchy, etc. There are many forms of governments, but this particular form of government that the Moorish Science Temple of America consists of, that the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School consists of, is known as a theocracy. A theocracy. A theocracy is defined as a government of a state by the immediate direction of God, or by the assumed direction of a superstitious divinity, or the state thus governed. See? Ain't this clear, cuz? And as members of this body, we recognize the creator, God Allah alone, guides this divine and national movement. A theocratic entity differs from the form of a secular entity. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, is a divine and national movement that has divine laws and holy laws that each member are to uphold and preserve, and if they are to earn the name of faithful, as afforded by Act 7 of the Moorish Divine Constitution and bylaws. I challenge you to read them all, and then come back and see what I'm saying. More than even read the goddamn Divine Constitution and bylaws. Read the Divine Constitution and bylaws. It's simple. It's simple. The Moorish Science Temple of America was established as a religious corporation by filing the Affidavit of Organization, document 1010-5905. So nobody can use that again. It's fraud. I keep telling y'all. Form 1099, recorded in the Recorder of Deeds office in the County of Cook, State of Illinois, on August 1st, 1928 AD at 2:52 p.m. And at that time, through this affidavit, through what affidavit? That specific affidavit. That specific affidavit. That specific affidavit. And then to trump that ain't no tax ID number. See, the more, when I show y'all my ID from the temple, we got 3 IDs. We got our travel ID, we got our temple ID, and then we got our tax ID. It's paypal.me/IBNAELBEY7. It's there. Sis, pull up my Cash App. Put up my Cash App. My PayPal. I'm sorry, Noble. It's paypal.me. paypal.me, then that /IBNAELBEY7. So it's clear. Our prophet gave birth to a free national government as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate under this revised statutes of the state of Illinois, chapter 36, section 36. Remember, when you see the science, July 20th, 1928 was on the 3rd day on the beginning of a new moon during the sign of Virgo. All this science, it does mean things. You know, the Hurd-Smith Revised Statute, Chapter 32, an act concerning corporations, Section 36, Religious Corporation Act, played a huge origin on establishing the Moorish Science Temple of America as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. So how can any subordinate temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America not operate under the Hurd-Smith Revised Status, Chapter 32, Section 36? Because this act clearly states that, and I quote eloquently with a silver tongue, any church, congregation, or society formed for the purpose of religious worship may be incorporated in the matter as following, and I quote, and in our teachings, I show you, we cross out electing, because this ain't no electing where we just like somebody. It's we appoint. Appointing, that's a consecrated, anointed, according to its usage or customs, at any meetings held for the purpose. 2 or more trustees, wardmen or warden, or vestrymen, or such officers whose powers and duties are similar to those of trustees, as shall be agreeable to the usages and customs, rules, or regulations of such congregation, church, or society, and may adopt a corporate name, Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, Moorish Science Temple of America, and may adopt a corporate name, and upon the filing of the affidavit as hereafter provided, it shall be and remain, it shall be and remain, it shall be and remain a body politic and corporate by the name so adopted. Look at the law, PA 81-1509. Come on, man. So you can see when you study this Religious Corporation Act and glance at the affidavit of organization, which is the original form, number 1099, you will see how our prophet Noble Drew Ali followed the substantial form of this revised statute and then expressly organized a ecclesiastical body politic and corporate, same way what I did, known as the Moorish Science Temple of America, or known as the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, by the name so adopted. And this science, what I'm illuminating, it should clear up the confusion and foolishness of those who say our prophet Noble Drew Ali did not establish a nation state. You know? And I know a lot of people, sometimes they be sincere, but they're not telling the truth. And many people might ask, how was this body politic and corporate duly established? And it's very simple. It's very simple. The answer is by filing in the County of Cook, Recorder of Deeds Office, an affidavit substantially expressed by the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali himself, being the presiding officer. He swore that the meeting of the members was held. He stated facts of our power and authority and having the sheiks duly appointed, anointed, and consecrated. And this instrument is well known as our authority, but is really titled the Affidavit of Organization. And by definition, Moors, an organization can include a wide range of entities. Organization is defined as a corporation, a government, or a governmental subdivision, or an agency, a trust, an estate, a partnership, association, or 2 or more persons having a joint interest, or any other legal or commercial entity. So then I can go even deeper, family. In order to organize as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate at that time, a church, society, or congregation pursuant to the laws of the Hurd-Smith Revised Status of the state of Illinois, the affiant had to file in the office of Recorder of Deeds an affidavit, substantially in the following form of the Hurd-Smith Revised Statute. Thank you for the donation, Noble. Chapter 32, Section 36, 805 ILCS 110-36, from Chapter 32, Paragraph 165, Section 36. When you can see it, when he said, I do solemnly swear or affirm, as the case may be, that the meeting, the prophet, for the record, you know what I mean? And then such affidavit or a copy thereof was duly certified by the recorder, and it shall be received as evidence of the due incorporation of such congregation in church or society. And so now that you can take a look at the substantial form of filing an affidavit, then we can move forward to the affidavit of organization. And here go the original affidavit of organization with the prophet signed. This is I told you, man, we got to stop letting people do us like that. This is the original affidavit of organization. You know, people be getting caught up with untruth because they be talking about some fiat, some this, some this. I showed y'all, the Moorish Science Temple of America, we have a tax ID number. So how can anybody sit up there? Moors don't understand. They talking about they want some of this. I say, we got a tax ID number, we got a travel ID, and we got a membership card. We got a tax ID card, a membership card, and a travel ID card for the temple. The Moorish Science Temple of America is tax exempt for the federal government. Religious, scientific, just like I am. That's what I be telling people they missing the whole point. That's why I say Moors just want something. They don't want to be educated. They don't want to sit down at the round table. And so they try to, and they do things wrong. And I say, that's the problem with us. We ain't a conglomerate because a person wants something. I say, well, are you that? If you're not that, you need to come to the table, to the conglomerate. We can have subordinate temples all over it. That's what I be telling people. It's like, this stuff is simple. We need to be coming together, not trying to do our own thing, splinter group. It is no, we need to be coming together and take one big thing and make it worldwide. And people can be support and bring people to their certain areas. And then we have our big grand meetings. Man, our temple in school, we got 10 acres in the middle of Vegas and Arizona. We can have our big grand temple out there, huge. I sit down and show people how to buy their communities. I do this in real life. Moors got to be willing to come to the table. It ain't just no one way. Moors will get lost in the sauce. And it's no disrespect. And this is the revised status that the Holy Prophet Noble Ali used substantially to draft how the temple was set up. You know? So, when Moors be confused with understanding the proper verbiage, so when they say, oh, we don't understand rules, well, everything that we do is rules and customs. Because a rule is an established standard, a guide or a regulation, a principle or a regulation set up by authority, prescribing or directing action or forbearance, as the rules of a legislative body, of a company, court, public office, of the law, of ethics, the 5 principles that we stand on are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and uphold these principles to the best of our advantage, because by living by these principles, we are in accordance with the holy and divine laws of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And we do not choose to live by hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, and theft. And now that we know the rules of this state, let's now go into the customs and usages. This is very simple. Customs and usages are defined as a usage or practice of the people. When I talk about the religious rights of the indigenous people, what we have the right to do, to self-identify, to have our own teachers, to keep our custom, to be private, to have a sheik. When I talk about the religious laws, when I talk about the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, when I talk about your free national name, it's just El or Bay. When I talk about the House Joint Resolution 75, varied habits, wearing your fez and your turban, and not only wearing your fez and your turban, getting it from a sheik, we provide all this stuff. Become compulsory and has acquired the force of law with respect to the place of subject matter to which it relates. So the question is, what do members of the Moorish Science Temple of America and the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School have as far as customs? So the customs that we have are that we practice, of course. These are the 5 highest principles that we practice daily, which are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The Moorish American prayer is a custom at the opening and closing of the Circle 7 meetings, celebrating the Holy Prophet birthday, January 8th, which we have in our 3rd annual Moorish Ball, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and our Authority Day on July 20th. Each year are also customs, but I add into Indigenous People Day, that's this year's going to be in October. I'll be in Vegas. The Authority Day on July 20th each year are also customs, and simply wearing a Moorish fez or a turban are customs. We have to honor our foremothers and our forefathers, teaching our people that they are not Negro black people, and teaching you that you're not Negro black in color, because all that's synonymous and denotes or connotates to slavery. Period. Negro black in color wasn't even used in the 1st century to describe ethnicity. You want colored folks or Ethiopians is also a custom and method of uplifting. Another custom is flying our national flag on the land of our ancestors, which is known as the Moorish flag, which has been flown on our land for over 50,000 years. And currently the Moroccans in the Moroccan kingdom have falsely adopted the flag and has caused a great damage when the confusion. And the Moroccan flag has been seen by the Prophet Noble Ali since the 20s. And the present Moroccan kingdom in Northeast Africa today have falsely adopted the flag in the year of 1956. And there's many other customs adopted as well that we take our heart along with our royal heritage. It's to study, study, study. That's why when you get around these Moors and they say, oh, I study from my ancestors. Your ancestors dead. Those are the ones that don't want to learn. Those shade tree mechanics. And why you don't want to be learned and guided by your brother. That's the part of being Moorish. We go to church and give donation to the church and send our kids. And when we look back at the definition of body politic, we realize that there are important actions that citizens, nationals, and subjects are to make a custom with themselves. And one action that I speak of is known as coveting. A covenant is of a citizen, is an agreement or promise of two or more parties by deed in writing. Just like I tell my brothers and sisters, you want to be members of part of this school and tribe. You got to understand, I done broke down religious rights off the top, signed and delivered, by which either of the parties pledge himself to the other that something is either done or shall be done or shall not be done, or stipulates for the truth of a certain fact. See? So as Moorish Americans here in the Maxima, now commonly known as America, under the divine leadership of the Holy Prophet Noble Ali and under the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, we are to attend to covenants put in place under the body politic. There is but one covenant for the unity of the Asiatic race, or whatever you want to connotate. Because I know it wasn't Asia, I know about Eurasia, but I can agree with my brothers and sisters. This covenant is known as a holy covenant of the Asiatic nation, and is referenced in chapter 25 of your Holy Quran. It was divinely prepared. And when you covenant through the holy covenant of the Asiatic nation, you covenant with the whole people, and the whole people covenant with you. And to covenant is to make a pledge. And the pledge has a broad definition. But in this context, we want to focus on that it's a promise or agreement by which one binds himself or herself to do, or forbears himself or herself to do, or forbear something. The promise or agreements are the conditions of the pledge itself. So when thinking about U.S. citizens, you got to understand, to wonder why the 14th Amendment, when it says citizens, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. But unfortunately, U.S. citizens think that being born here makes you a citizen. And that is not true. U.S. citizens are naturalized. U.S. citizens are naturalized, but not nationalized. And it's a difference. And I'll go through that later. To lawfully be a subject or citizen of any form of government, depending on the rules and customs of that society under its constitution and government, one must subscribe and take an oath to its constitution and government. And this goes for proclaimed Moorish Americans as well. And by taking an oath of amnesty and reconstruction of the Emancipation Proclamation, an executive order issued by President Abraham Lincoln in 1865. You are a true American citizen. And this oath is to be subscribed by a grand sheik, which is an officer lawfully authorized to administer such an oath. And then such an oath had to be recorded in the county. Just simple. When I talk about the amnesty oath, that's why I said when people be saying they part of the temples, it's only one prophet, it's only one temple, and they know I'm telling the truth. If not, that's a fascist group. They should be having everything I'm talking about if they from the temple that the prophet set up. Everything I'm saying, they should have it. They should have their dispensation papers, their amnesty oath, their adoption paper, their creed, all that. And if not, then, they just made it up as they coming, because they'll be saying, you don't need this. And why you don't need an amnesty oath from your tribe? Why? If you're from the Moorish Science Temple of America. I ain't talking about nobody else. I'm talking about those that say they from the Moorish Science Temple of America. Our stuff should be the same. You should understand exactly what I'm saying. You shouldn't be saying nothing but Islam, 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 unless you're a charlatan. When it's talking about how the prophet set the temple up, because there's only one prophet. It's only one Moorish Science Temple. Period. Period, man. And when a member of this body politic and corporate takes the oath of amnesty and reconstruction, he or she becomes a part and parcel of the said government and returns back to the family of nations, which is the Asiatic nations. And the term said denotes, listen clearly, the term said denotes something declared or before mentioned. The term said denotes something declared or before mentioned. On your nationality card, our Prophet Noble Drew declared that you are a Muslim under the divine laws of the Holy Quran of Mecca for blood, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Then he's showing you that you are a citizen of the USA, uniting souls through Allah, coming out of a rebellious state. You have to take the said oath to be a citizen of the perpetual union again. And the term said government has been used in the Moorish divine constitution and the bylaws a couple times, particularly family in Act 4, 6, and 7. Read it. And it denotes a government in a former time. To be part of the said government is to be an equivalent of, whether citizen, subject, or even property through citizenship or nationalization. And the term parcel refers to a part or portion of land, a part of an estate. So parcel, as used with reference to land, generally means a contagious or a continuous quantity of land in the possession of an owner. The estate that we partly own will be expounded on as you continue to learn with us. But you have to understand what I'm saying. To be part and parcel of this said government is to be a member of the perpetual union of the USA and in the existing rebellion, like the Confederacy. This is why members who take the oath of amnesty and reconstruction are congratulated and welcomed back to the family of nations. And this is true. Why you think they want to keep you as a Negro? Why you think a lot of this stuff is some of the Masonic secrets? I'm telling you what I know. This is facts. This is the true USA Republic form of government in this land of our ancestors here in the Maxima, which is America. But you got to ask yourself a question. By taking the oath, the covenant, and proclaiming your nationality as a Moorish American under Act 6, are we members of two states, the Perpetual Union and the Moorish Science Temple of America? And so that's why I want Moorish to think. It make you think. If your hippocampus is on straight, it'll make you think how deep the prophet was. But the answer is yes and no. I'm telling you. We're dealing with supreme science and understanding. See, Negro, you want a definitely yes, but it ain't always a yes. When you're dealing with continuance, and now that we are true citizens of the USA, another question on many minds is, how is a Moorish American duly a member of a sovereign body politic? Easy. It has to be conditions set for members to attended to by the founder of both, agreed upon. And if this is to, how can I say, work and be successful, and if this can take place, all these variables have to line up. That's why Act 6 of the Moorish Divine Constitution and bylaws of the Moorish Science Temple of America is the agreement between the members and the founder. Thanks for the donation, Noble. Is this not a pledge as well, Moors? Our Prophet Noble Drew Ali expressed that to be a Moorish American member of this body politic, to be a Moorish American member of the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, because I ain't say you wasn't a Moor. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That got to do with you understanding the blood that goes in your veins. You have to proclaim it. Teach our people their nationality, which is Moorish American, and divine creed, the faith of Muhammad. To know that they are not Negro, black, and colored, or Ethiopians, and proclaim a free national name, El or Bey. And in exchange, the person and effects will be redeemed by our holy prophet and an inhabitant of the north and southwestern shores of Africa. That's why when you study maritime and admiralty law. And it's a beautiful position to be proud of. That's why I'm thankful to be a Moorish American member of this body politic and corporate. I'm thankful. When we talk about estate and property of the state, when I talk about fee simple absolute, it's defined as an estate limited absolutely to a man and his heirs and assigns forever, a living trust forever. When a person on your behalf, if something happened to you, the power of attorney, forever, without limitation and condition. An absolute, excuse me, or fee simple estate is one in which the owner is entitled to the whole property with unconditional power or disposition during one's life and descending to the heirs and the legal representative upon one's death. Intestate. Y'all, is that clear? That should clear up everything. That should clear up everything to be like, it's some frauds out here. No disrespect. That's like somebody operating under your identity. When they get caught up and go to court, they go to jail. And people be happy because they ain't caught yet. Such estate is unlimited as to duration, disposition, and descendability. And to descendability, meaning if something happened to me, what happened, you can't tell me where this descend to. I'm live, babe. Can I call you back? Huh? Sure. All right, love you. Real life, y'all. My wife calling me. I better answer that too. I can't play that game. But it's defined as an estate limited absolutely to a man and his heirs and assigns forever without limitation and condition. An absolute or fee simple estate is one in which the owner is entitled to the whole property with unconditional power or disposition during one's life and descending to the heirs and legal representatives upon one's death. Intestate. Such estate is unlimited as to the duration, disposition, and descendability. So by fee simple absolute, man or grantor of our estate would be who? Noble Drew Ali. And their heirs would be who? The Moorish Americans with the free national name El or Bay, annexed to their birth name, just like in the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. So you got to be careful not to throw away your name for a morsel of bread. When these religious Negroes will tell you your last name is some slave name. That's some Al-Islam shit. How your last name a slave name and the Europeans name themselves after you? Ask David McRitchie, the ancient and modern Britons. Ask, when I talk about Empress Tunic El Bey, when they changed their name to Turner, of the Washita, the Hungdy High Moors. I mean, come on, man. We're not going to play that goofy game, that unscholarship game. Thanks for the donation. Yep. It's Cash App, $ KG Bay, Morris. No disrespect. If my nobles on here, please write everybody's name down. Noble Maso, please. By fee simple absolute, man or grantor of our estate would be our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, just like in our temple and school. And the heirs would be the Moorish Americans with the free national name El or Bay, annexed to their birth name, annexed. Your last name ain't no slave name unless you think you some damn slave, and that's asinine. Annexation. I hope Moors know what annex mean, what it consists of. Annex. You are who your mother named you. So how you obeying your foremothers and forefathers if you're going to talk about and get rid of your last name and say, well, I'm just such and such babe? That's stupid. That don't even make sense. So be careful not to throw away your name for a morsel of bread. And since our Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the owner of the whole property, just like I am in that Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, his position and my position of the estate is the holder in due course. The holder in due course is defined as, and I quote, a holder who takes an instrument for value in good faith and without notice, that is overdue or has been dishonored, or any of defense against or claim to it on the part of any person. A payee may be a holder in due course. And as Moorish American beneficiaries, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the holder in due course of any and all lawful instruments, real or personal estate, tenements, and hereditaments of the Moorish Science Temple of America, because he is the owner of the whole or entire property once it is transferred to him. And this is likewise when the Prophet Noble Drew Ali grants the land described to us. And people talk about the land, we finna get something. No, he's saying you home. That's what he's saying. He's saying you home. A transfer of land lawfully takes place when one falls in accordance with the deed of conveyance and the fee simple absolute deed. Act 6 of the Moorish Divine Constitution and bylaws of our deed of conveyance. Read Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negro, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865, during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, ordained me in the flesh today, the prophet, to redeem our people from our sinful ways. The Moorish Science Temple, the Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of America. And it's been such a confusion. And so I don't want to get all into that. But I want us to be clear, man. Like, it's no reason to be confused. Only people confused is those that want to be confused and keep crap up. You know? We know our nationality. We know why we Americans, because we are descendants of Moroccans born here in America. That's why whoever my ancestors were, I am today. And whatever they owned, I own, according to specific laws of inheritance. That's why in certain movies they call them tomb raiders. You can't change your descendant nature and make it true. Truth does not change. So do not think it is unimaginable. Isn't that what the lower self desires from you? To think negative of yourself? That's why I tell all Moors, you must think positive first. That's why the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali stated, and I quote, I brought you everything. If the prophet gone, you think he don't resurrect himself in the flesh with divine teaching and warnings to teach you continuous? It takes to save a nation. Now taking to save yourself. And when our prophet said he held up the affidavit of organization, our authority, and our one-on-one questionnaires for Moorish American children, you probably think I'm out of line. But actually using your mind, you can comprehend the works of our prophet. Our prophet also stated that the third and fourth generation shall see the goods of my works. Genesis 15 and 16. Every generation is considered a time span of 20 years. And the first 20 years is extended from 1928 to 1948. And you can start breaking that down. It's the time. We talk about the time of the year of the Aquarius. When I tell y'all the 14th Amendment is not applicable to us, it's also a deed of convenience. If a Moorish American proclaimed U.S. citizen under the 14th Amendment, he takes on a Christian title and a religious creed of Christianity. I mean, it's no slander. So I just wanted to share that with Moors, man, and be clear. We right here. We share all information. I tell Moors, when I do scheduled lectures like this was today, when I ask for donations, I tell everyone, if you send donation to Cash App $KGBay or PayPal.me/IBNA, IBNA, ELBEY7, please leave your email in there for I can get you the literature. Because if you give a $10 donation, I'm going to get you the state booklet. It's no problem. A lot of the letters I have to go in my library and my files to get for you. But any other books you're looking for, mypdfbooks.com, that's books with the Z, all your Moorish American regalia, and much, much more, moorishhaberdasher.com. Get your Moorish American, your fez, turban, etc. And hit me up, man. Hit me up in my inbox. Hit me up. Hit me up on our Temple and School inbox, burningbushtabernacle.ts. And I'm here to assist Moors in any way. I just don't ask for donations to come to my lectures, because I do these lectures on the college campus and all the students donate. But then after they donate, I take about an hour or two, and a lot of students buy books from me, and I only have them for $5 for them, and they be expensive books on Amazon. So I do that for students to build their library, and I do that for all my members and students. And so when I do these lectures, I'm not here just to ask nobody for no donation. I do lectures and I do teachings, and anything that I teach on, I have no problem. If you give a donation, I'll get the information to you as a PDF. And you go to Office Max and Staples, and they'll bind it like this in book form. I used to buying all the books myself, but Moors don't understand the cost that it takes. So I tell them, go to Office Max and Staples and let them charge you. You know, I do this with college students all over the world. And on mypdfbooks.com, books with the Z, we have PDF books that you can get that's cheaper than the books that you would pay for. And all you got to do is go to Office Max and Staples and print them and bind them. You know? So with that being said, man, I love everyone. Thanks everyone for giving donations today. I give you all gratitude, man. Like I said, today was our holy day. Tomorrow is Saturday, is our ADAPT class. We do that privately on Zoom. If Moors want to be my guest, hit me up. If you want to be my guest, because we've been going over law governs all events, and I break this down from our Moorish Quran legally. And Moors say, well, they doing the catchphrase, not legally, lawfully. Man, whatever, legally and lawfully. Whatever catchphrase you want to do, you stand up right. And you want to be part of these teachings, because we're getting ready to stop sharing them on YouTube. We're doing snippets, and we really, really want you to be our guest on Zoom. Check out our Temple and School webpage, Moors. It's bbtsciencetemple.com. Check out our Temple and School page, bbtsciencetemple.com. And check out our little introduction of our, we got a little commercial of our 3rd annual Moorish Ball we're getting ready to have out here in Arizona on January 6th, 7th, and 8th. It's going to be amazing. But Moors, like I said, I welcome you all to come to class, ADAPT class, work out with us, and learn, and continue to help us build this real body. And I can show you how to have subordinate temples all over. We don't need to do nothing by ourselves. Moors always say there's no temple in their area and jump on my page and then ask me, well, Sheikh, what book I should get? And I never respond, because there's no book you can get. There's no book you can get. There's no magic trick. That's why if that was the case, everybody that got a rich dad, poor dad would be rich. Everybody that go to these damn self-help seminars and pay all that money, they'll be rich, not knowing it's a Ponzi scheme. Allah's not going to make you rich. You got to do that. That's the work that you got to do. That's the connection that you have. That's the networking and your net worth that you have to do. And in this body politic, that's why I tell people the mind have to be right first. Like Pac said, I got my mind right. Now I got my money right. Now I'm ready for war. Most Moors don't have their mental right, because they done got caught up in this canceling corporate debt, want to try to get out of child support and want to not pay this and pay that. And so they all focus on that. And the divine comes first. And so I'm right here. And I tell Moors, this stuff that y'all teaching, you want to teach your children this. I take kids, I tutor them, and they child will be saying, well, I want to go to college and I want to do all this and do all this. And you will ask these more so-called what you want your kid to aspire to. Well, I want my kid to go to college and all this and do this and that. But you on the internet talking reckless as hell. Living in this girl house on Section 8. Nobody can be, that's why I be saying living poor as hell. That ain't what we do. We're gods. We are the doctors. We are the scientists. We are the educators. If that's not we on this earth plane. So you're going to have children and all that and continue to send them to all these other places. So you say you're more, and you're going to say, well, there ain't no temples in the area, but you're not smart, and the internet is our network. And you can go to college and all this on the internet. You can do all this stuff on here. Use this information and use the computer and use technology for an asset, not just to watch porn and goofy stuff. And it's no disrespect, but we got to have a balance. We can't make excuses. We filling up holes. I'm right here. Moors got to stop saying they can't do this. If this is a scheduled lecture, like I said, Moors can't be afraid to give a donation to Cash App $KG Bank. Because if you don't like the teachings, please don't show up. That's why I ask all my nobles to write people's names down and jump in their inbox and say, hey, well, You hear every time our sheikh ask for a small donation, what's your purpose? And then the first thing Negroes say, asking for donations, I'm not asking for nobody to pay me. If you go to church, you would do this. I get paid in my business life. But if you're being fed, a workman is due his hire. If you come to my temple, you will give something from your heart. And I'm giving more than the teachings. I'm going to give you literature too, because this is a school. This is not just this is not no Islamic sect. This attire that I have on is not Islamic. The followers of Yahshua wore this. This is a tunic or a kuntra, cotton or silk. Look in your Bible. This is a turban. The followers of Yahshua wore a turban with the jewel on it. They wore a sash and earrings and a girdle. If you have your Hebrew lexicon, everything that I got on, this is one of my jewels, one of my Moorish heads. In your biblical scriptures, this was worn on a turban. We wore our sash, cotton or silk, no matter long or short. So I'm not here to debate with no one. I'm here to come back on here and bring back wisdom to my brothers and sisters in science and education and Moorish science, what I do on university campus and all over, as a divine minister, a rabbi, a sheikh, etc. And so if Moorish is not interested in what I'm saying, that's great. But I ask you, please don't come on my page. If you're not willing to give a donation and you're here to talk stuff to your own brother, and I ain't put you in slavery, I ain't call you no nigga, I ain't say you came over here on no slave ship, so don't come to me like that. We'll go to all these clubs and do all this stuff. So like I said, I would ask Morris, when y'all see my post, and you see what I say on there, and before I do lectures, and I say this is a scheduled lecture, etc., etc. If Morris don't abide by to the rules, you can't get mad at me coming at you and saying, please get off, or block you for life. Because sometimes I get on here in the morning when I'm just speaking, and I just speak. And I love speaking to the people because I love everyone. But when I have scheduled lectures, just like if I had a scheduled lecture at Grand Canyon University and you came out here and I posted it on Instagram, or just like, let me see, I think I had a piece of paper with one of my lectures I did on here. Or just like if I had a scheduled lecture somewhere and somebody invites you and you show up, you just come sit down and everybody at the door like, dude, like, okay, like this is a scheduled lecture. And you start saying, well, this is my birthright. Man, this ain't your birthright. That ain't your birthright. This is a scheduled lecture. You don't want to give homage to the brother that's teaching. And so that's what I'll be asking my brothers and sisters. So this was, whoa. So if you would have came to one of these scheduled lectures that I did alone some years ago, this was in Vegas, you would just pop up there and I do lectures and I ask people to give $20, but mostly college people came from all over. And for people gave that $20, they got so much literature. They got one of the guys got the book, Judah Trivers on the Rome. He like, Sheik, this book on Amazon for $800. Then I was giving away the book, Tavistock Institute of Human Engineering by John Coleman. That book on Amazon for $4. And so a lot of college students that I meet everywhere, they give way more than Moorish because they know the value that I give. And so that's what I'm saying, man. Respect me. I respect everybody else. But please don't show up to my house like a deer in the headlights. Don't do that to me. I'll respect you. If I like what you're saying, I'm coming all the time. I don't have a problem with giving because this is what I'm into. I ain't gonna give you no $5 or no $10. I'm giving you more, and I'm gonna be hitting you in the inbox. If I like what you say, hey Sheik, man, I boom boom boom. How can I come to class? This, that, and the other. I'm not a bump on the log. If I'm looking for something and I hear the voice, I'm listening because I said I deal with people that I see Allah in. I'm with you. I'm not going to go in my pocket and turn and try to get pennies. I'm giving more because this is what I'm about. I don't waste my money. I find what I'm looking for. And if you're not looking for this, if you just here to be nigger-tained, please, man, I ask you, because I'm going to ask all my nobles that's on my Instagram page, please give me those names. And I'm going to ask you, please don't come back here again. I ask you that from love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And everyone can honor that. This is no slander. This is no hate. I respect you, so please respect me. I give everybody love. Islam, I give everybody love. So with that being said, man, I hope everybody will want to join us tomorrow for ADAPT class. We're going to have an amazing teaching. It's going to illuminate a lot of history. And man don't know by just being told. We know by studying ourselves and coming to class. So I give everybody love and honor. And let's do things the right way. Any quick questions? I'll give a couple of seconds, man. If you can type something on here fast enough. If not, I gotta go. But I hope it's legit. No crazy question about, no goofy stuff about nobody else. Because we shouldn't be caring about nobody else. We shouldn't be caring where nobody else come from. You should be caring about you. You should be caring about your children. You should be caring about the well-being of yourself. You should care about coming up. You should care about fulfilling your God-given abilities. Not worried about where somebody else come from and worried about what somebody else doing with that fraud stuff. None of that stuff going to make you a better person. So if that's the case, man, I give y'all gratitude. For everybody that's my members and students, I'll see y'all in the morning for more power workout at 9 a.m. And then after that, I'll see everybody for ADAPT class. Moors, if y'all want to join us, y'all know how to hit me up. I told y'all to hit me up on my Instagram page. I gave y'all my email address a while ago. You can hit me up. If you're not talking with sense, I'm going to block you. I don't care about nobody saying crazy stuff. I'll block you real fast. If you're on Instagram and on YouTube and you just got a fake picture and an emoji, I'm blocking all that shit too. I don't even look at stuff. So I'm letting you know off top. If you're going to write some whole goofy ass dissertation, that shit going to be blocked. Off the dribble. I'm not even going to read it. My homeboy will probably block all that shit for me before it even get to me anyway. So that's why I deal with real people. So with that being said, man, I love y'all, man. Thanks everyone that donated to Cash App, $KGBay. And thank you for everyone that donated to paypal.me/IBNAELBEY7. I give you gratitude and love because you can do whatever you want with your finances. And I give you gratitude if you gave $1, 50 cents, or a quarter, or $100, because that quarter and that $100 or that $5 or that $10 is just as good as $100 if it came from the heart. Remember that. I give you love, honor, and truth, peace, and illumination. Peace, family.